Good evening, Central Indiana. Welcome to Porch Time, live from JTH Construction Studio, where tonight we have a room full of wrestlers. I think this is the first time you guys have been in here, Martinsville. So we're going to talk wrestling here momentarily. But first, let me talk about my sponsors. JTH, get a hold of Joe at JTH Construction, 765-913-8599. American Basement Solutions, Mr. Larry Ralph Sr., 187. And I have, not my computer, because we're running wide open. All right, there we're back. Sorry about that. The internet, my brother Slash is playing games with us again. Wellspring, Mr. Bob Goodrum, 765-342-6661. What's up, Punk? How you doing? Oh, I cannot believe it. Been doing this for 5 years, and every now and then a glitch, but nothing like the last two. Imagine that. We're just gonna have to deal with it. What's up, Mike? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us at least. I know we're back there. Guys, once again, Stids Comfort Systems, 765-346-0195. Get a hold of Caleb. Logan's Cosmos, 765-318-3388. Andrew Payton at the Yard Barber, 765-318-4108. Tommy Walls at Live. I got people in here that's never been in here and looking at me like, what is going on? Tim, you got to knock it off. We got to get through this. Probably me. I mean, my computer, I'm using 3%. And it's just crazy. I got you on speaker, Corey.
Hello?
That's not Corey.
Am I online?
Yes, you are. Are you watching this, Corey? It just destroyed my online. Oh yeah, we're in here live right now, and now it's green. Of course, once I call you on the phone, it's green.
That works.
I mean, the last 5 minutes it has been red. I mean, like enough to kick me off 3 times. That's good now. If I hang up from you and you guys and it does it again, and then you guys are gonna have to come in here and run it. So, all right, I got wrestlers.
We're going now.
All right, buddy. I'll see you, Corey.
All right, bye.
I was thinking maybe he had it fixed, but evidently he did. Call him up. All right. Once again, we have members of the Martinsville Wrestling Club in studio, Martinsville High School wrestlers. Coach Johnson, Coach Sumner. We have 2 wrestlers. We'll get to them momentarily. Coach Johnson, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Pretty good. Happy to have you guys in studio. I know it was kind of a quick notice, but we wanted to get you guys in because you guys got some stuff coming up.
Yeah.
But first of all, welcome to Porch Time. First time for you guys in studio. Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would, and then tell us about the wrestling team.
Basically, I've been wrestling my whole life since I was 4. Most of my time early was in Pennsylvania. Wrestled in high school. Wrestled at Team Foxcatcher, which a lot of people give me a lot of stuff for that because as a movie, and I did spend some time there.
Oh wow!
Moved to Indiana late in high school. Went to Pike High School. Then went on to the University of Indianapolis and had a brief stint at IU, and then went on and wrestled for Team USA in Greco, and then took a couple years off. They put together a grappling team, and I did that for the last 5.5.
So now you're head coach here at Martinsville.
Yes, I am.
And you're excited to get the season's underway. You already guys started practice, but your first meet or match, whatever you guys that match.
Yep, match
comes up
November 15th. We have Indian Creek at home. We're looking to fill the stands. We're gonna put on a big show. So our wrestlers are gonna do really well, but we're gonna put on a little show for everybody and show them what Martinsville wrestling is gonna be from now till whenever, hopefully forever.
And you brought one of your assistants or soon to be head coach, hopefully, and maybe at a middle school.
Yeah.
Mr. Sumner.
Yeah,
how
good
you
evening,
doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good, sir. How long have you been involved with wrestling here in the city?
Well, I wrestled in middle school and high school. I was in second grade, I had the pleasure of moving next door to an old coach named Dave Arrett. So Dave and Zach's my age, so I was about the same size as Zach. So
Dave was my lineman coach.
Yep, I got
85.
Yep. I got pulled into the wrestling program,
Early age. Then.
third, fourth grade to wrestle with Zach. He's much better than I was. Wrestled in high school, didn't do anything collegiately. Been coaching some of these guys since my oldest son was about 4 years old. So,
Easy transition for you to become a coach and be.
like to give back to the community when I can.
That's awesome. You got some players, wrestlers in here tonight.
I do.
How many kids tried out or made the team this year?
Well, we have 14 varsity weight classes. I will say, I think right now, this is the first time we've had every weight class covered for the last couple of years.
Really?
So we have 14 wrestlers, one in each weight class, and there's a couple that double up. So I say we have about 25, 26 wrestlers total. Sometimes 30, it depends on the week. But right now, I think we're heading in the right direction. I mean, that's the biggest the team's been for a little while. So
Numbers are going up. That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you guys got a new facility over there that might need a little heat in it.
Yeah, that restroom's phenomenal. It needs a little work as far as like we're gonna get some placards up in there and some names up on the wall eventually. Put a little paint in there, and then some heat eventually. But we'll cross that bridge, I guess, when we get to it. Like you said before, we just gotta work harder. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's talk to a couple of your wrestlers here. We have Evan Hamlin and Calvin Walker in studio with us. How we doing, boys?
Doing good.
Let's talk to Calvin first. Calvin was first here, so he. Okay, Calvin, you're a sophomore. Wrestle at 132. How long you been involved with wrestling? Mike.
All four of my older high school.
So you had no choice.
No other sport.
I was going to ask, is that all you do is wrestle?
That is all.
All I do is wrestle. So 365, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was lineman material right here. That's
Yeah.
because I like to eat, and I couldn't. I think I wrestled in 8th grade one time, and they're like, "You got to cut weight." I was like, "I haven't cut weight since 5th grade." So
I don't blame you on that one.
That ain't gonna happen.
I don't blame you.
So you've been doing it a long time. What's your record?
Last year.
That's all right. That's all right. 15 wins, all right. Yeah, it's good, pretty good competition around here too. Looking to improve on that.
We got the toughest sectional
Oh, it's brutal.
by
right
hands
there.
down.
Yeah.
Toughest sectional.
All right, Mr. Evan Hamlin, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good.
You're an upperclassman.
I am.
You're a junior, and you wrestle 157.
Yep. It's a plan this year.
How long have you been wrestling?
Like 7 years. I would
7
say.
years. Are you solely a wrestler? Like,
I'm solely a wrestler.
Are
yeah.
you? So you're pretty tall though, too, aren't you?
Yeah, about like 6.
Is it more difficult for taller kids to wrestle?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Used to be that way back in the day, but
Yeah.
I think we've adapted the technique to these taller wrestlers, and it's becoming a thing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's actually sucks because their leverage. It's harder to wrestle a taller guy for
Yeah.
a smaller guy.
He's smiling at that. so.
Yeah, he'll never kick me down though. But it's all right.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to throw Matt down in
Yeah,
here and go
yeah.
at this right here. So, what got you guys involved in wrestling? I know you're brothers, but what about you?
Mostly the hate for basketball. I played basketball,
Kinda like it.
wasn't a fan, and switched to wrestling.
So what you're saying, you weren't any good at basketball, so you went to wrestling.
Just about,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all right. I mean, you're all right to say that. No shame here. So that basketball forced you into wrestling.
Yeah, and I have a cousin that's wrestled. My mom's side of the family is from Jasper. They're big into wrestling. I got into it.
I have to say this because we have had a wrestler in here, but Ben Dalton from Monrovia,
Yeah.
who
Yep.
was a state finalist for you.
Mhm.
He's a friend of the show.
Great
I
kid.
went to school with his family, and Ben has been in here times with with the mullet flowing.
We're trying to get him on staff, so if he's listening
Ben?
right now, yeah.
Where
Have
is
him
he?
come
Is
in
he
the room.
coached up in Mooresville? Or
I don't
Monrovia?
think he's coaching anywhere right now, but yeah, I
I'll
think he's
message
somebody
him
helping
here when
out.
we get off here.
You tell him that he's pop in once or twice a week. I'll take him. All right.
He's a character.
Yeah, I like him.
He is an excellent
Yeah.
human being, though. We love him.
Yeah, very technical. He and he has a way with coaching. He's very, very good at that.
Yeah, he's he was in here like a sophomore, finished second to state, and communicating with us on air. He just very deliberate. He was just very much a professional young man at that age, and you could see. And like I said, I grew up with his mom and dad. I knew a little bit about him when he
Okay.
but and he's a little taller too.
Yeah. He's another one that I can think of that uses leverage to get around.
Oh, he used
so-
leverage well.
Yeah, and
Even
fast.
Even the matches that he lost, minimal few that he did, 4-3, 2-1.
Yeah.
A
They were all
move here or
close.
there.
Yeah.
That no one ever took him to the mat and said you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
not
no,
that kid.
no, tough wrestler for sure.
So you guys already started practicing. All right. Now, wrestling is not an easy sport. Everybody would do it. Can you explain to us, like, what's a day like for you from the minute you get up to when you walk off the mat for the last time that night? Yeah, what do you eat? No, let's go practice first. Can you
Practice first
eat?
day.
Tell us what you eat and everything.
So I wake up.
A little louder, please.
I have about a bag of apples.
Time out. You eat a bag of apples in the morning?
Yeah, like a bag.
Okay, small one. Not like a bag of apples.
I mean,
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
small.
I mean a big old bag of apples.
I was thinking.
It's all right
I'm thinking
though.
of Musgrave Orchard.
Huh?
I'm getting a bag of Golden Delicious.
So right now I'm cutting quite. Salad is
That's it.
That's it.
I'm hungry. I read about it.
Yeah.
Then you have your practice.
Yep.
2 hours, 2.5.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours right now. We'll shorten them towards the end of the season, so
Sure.
as we're tapering
Fatigue,
off.
yeah.
But right now it's about 2. We do an hour study table. We're huge on this, making sure these kids are eligible. Like if they're good to go. It's only been a week, so we haven't really discussed that. If the kids are eligible and they've got good grades, and if nobody needs any help, they can go maybe work out before practice time, or go home, come back, whatever. But right now, everybody's in the room. Right now, we get the homework out, and we got a few kids that are struggling some classes, and
That's
making sure
awesome,
we're
though.
staying on it though. So yeah,
That's awesome because if they're failing in the school classroom, it doesn't do you any good.
it does not do the team or themselves any good. So
Right on.
yeah.
You guys good on grades?
Yeah.
Good to go.
And we even have some middle schoolers that come over
Yeah.
right after school. They ride the
Yeah.
bus over to the middle school. They're included in the study table, so it's
Mhm.
program wide.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
These kids are students first, athletes second, and we keep that in perspective.
That's the way it should be.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
We have contract they sign.
I don't know if you guys know Otis, but he's been in here with the Heroes Wildlife Adventures. I graduated with him. He's a retired command sergeant major from the military.
Yep, I know
And
he's.
he used to wrestle.
Yeah.
Otis is a good dude.
I'm in the National Guard. I'm
Oh,
a
are
sergeant
you?
first class
Okay,
at
good.
Camp Atterbury with Operation Grip Wolf. I know him.
But you
I know him.
Otis, yeah.
Yeah.
I went in the Army, but I didn't
Yeah.
stay the entire like he did. So.
Yeah.
Otis is a good dude.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I've seen Brad.
Yeah, on my buddy Brad Grader, and love that guy. He's awesome.
He likes you a lot. haven't you?
Yeah. He's also at CG though. That's a big rival. He knows that. We're just joking
Oh,
back
he's
and
up in
forth.
Center Grove?
Yeah, his son goes there. I worked with his son
I'm
quite a bit
surprised
over the
our
years.
feed gets through that
Ah,
dome up there,
yeah, I do like
they
his
drive
neck.
on those golden streets up there in Center Grove.
That's
You
that's
know, when it
true.
snows, then there's no
That-
snow on the ground.
That's true.
There's a gentleman from Martinsville that lives up there, and he's a fireman here, Eric Hoskins, and we're constantly. He may pop on here, constantly give crap about
Yeah.
this. Now, you live in Center Grove. Was there any snow on the ground when you woke up this morning, or because the dome you guys have?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's where we're from. So
Coach Moore's been
Yeah.
in here.
how is he? Yeah.
Okay. We were doing a football show for the longest time, and he came in 2 years ago before their.
Okay. Yeah.
And we talked to him, talk about a class act.
Yeah.
And come to find out, in the off season, or actually in the game, Paragon speak. And he said he'd just go sit in the stands by himself and just bundle up, you know. But there you go, Max.
Yeah, Max on our staff as well.
I did not know that. He was messaging me earlier. He should have come in.
Yeah, well, you know, it was. Yeah, I should have talked. It was like kind of last minute, and then everybody's kind of rolling out. We pulled some of the wrestlers in here, so
guy right there.
he is. So we've trained together before, the same gym.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a big boy there.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to mess with him.
No. I'm trying to call him a friend. Actually, we actually grew up maybe half a block from each other, just down the road here. So Mac's a good guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, getting back. So apples and water. That's all you eat all day?
And it's
That
maybe a
don't
little bit of ranch.
any meat in it at all?
Yeah.
Where do you get your protein? Okay.
They haven't gotten their nutrition plan yet for me
That
yet.
bowl would be this big for me with that chicken. and
Touche.
salad.
Me too.
And have bacon in it. I'm just throwing that out there. So.
Cheese on there.
All right, big man. What do you got? What do you do? How's your daily grind go?
So I'm at the point where I eat mostly to like feel my body, like I eat for a purpose.
A little louder, or you can pull that over to you if you want. Okay.
So I'm at the point where I like start to eat for a purpose, like start to eat my body more. So in the morning I'll have like a boiled egg or two.
I'm not filling my body with the boiled egg.
Yeah.
Well, that's just for breakfast.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then,
That's it.
That knocks out breakfast.
Touche. Yeah.
and then a lot of water and
Oh, to be young again, I swear.
chicken sandwich. And at night I'll make some like rice maybe. Depends how I'm feeling after practice. So yeah, that's about it.
No cheat days. What's your cheat meal?
Energy drink, and then I'll go to Walmart, get a bag of candy maybe.
Is it a prime?
Yeah, prime.
Yeah. See, I knew it was a
So-
prime. How did I know?
Calvin, what's your cheat?
I like to go to Wings, etc. and get the chicken bucket.
Dude, you just tell me when, and I'll be there on time. Bringing back some fun, excitement, Martinsville wrestling, excited to see the boys. Exactly. You can't cheat now. You're middle of season. You have to wait till. No, I don't want him coming across the table at me. So, how many seniors you got?
None.
None.
Not a one.
So, how many juniors you got?
Let's see. 1, 2. Coach could probably tell me over here.
I think 7.
Yeah, I think there's 7. So next year's gonna kind of stink at losing all those guys, but we still have a really young.
Got to restock.
Got a lot of freshmen and sophomores right now, and basically today I went over to J.R. Wooden, and I used to coach there, by the way. So I'm
At Wooden?
yes, I coached there. Vince and I coached there. What year was that? 2019,
I think so.
2020. So I already knew a lot of these kids anyway going into this, and then obviously cycle back through several years later after high school.
Cheetos.
Yeah, that's definitely him. But yeah, to make a long story short, I went over there today to talk to athletic director Caleb Britton, and we talked about the schedule, and the middle schoolers are going to leave Bell and J.R. Wooden and then come to our room, and we're going to work with them while the high schoolers are in there. So
That's phenomenal.
we're going to have one room, one program.
That's
you know,
phenomenal.
so that's the plan. That'll probably stay the plan right now. We only have 4 coaches on staff, so Vince and I are taking the brunt
We're gonna
of
work
going
on
back
Ben,
and
though.
forth.
We're gonna
Yeah.
work on Ben, though.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
I think having been with so what I'm looking for, I guess, to say is someone that is passionate about it as I am and coaches and as these wrestlers are, right? And somebody that's young, vibrant, that loves to coach,
Yeah.
that loves to teach, and that wants to stick around for a while, right? Because obviously, I think there's stepping stones to this coaching thing, right? So I started coaching. I got out of college in 2000. Well, technically, I'd done wrestling in college in 2000. I started coaching the very next year, elementary school, and then I started coaching high school and being an assistant. There, I wasn't ready to be a head coach at the high school. It takes you some time to understand what it's all about. You can't just be a good wrestler, and you can't just think that, hey, I wrestled in high school. I was a phenomenal wrestler in high school. I can coach.
It doesn't always translate.
No, there's some things you got to learn. You got to learn your athletes. You got to learn how to coach. You got to learn the ups and downs and the I's and T's that need to be crossed on all that stuff. And literally, it took me, I've been coaching for over 20 years. I've coached elementary to college. I coached the University of Indianapolis for a long time. And I was always assistant coach. And I finally decided this is the time to take a head coaching job at 46 years old. Yeah, so you got to take some time. But having a guy like Ben that's young coming in, hasn't been out of high school very long and is passionate about it, that's what we want to put in the middle school program and have them as an assistant at the high school. And then maybe someday when Coach Johnson's like getting more gray and less hair. I just had 2 hips replaced, by the way. So, I'm working my way back to this whole thing.
Right.
So I can't be doing this for the rest of my life. I would like to have somebody to take those reins behind me. So
I coached girls softball. I have 3 daughters. I had coached girls softball for 12 years. And other than softball, I couldn't imagine coaching. You got 20 different personalities.
absolutely.
Football, your goal is here, but the individual sport is wrestling. I know you do. But it's a lot of individualism. Is there one-on-one on the mat?
Well, that's some of the hard
softball
stuff.
was brutal. So
Sorry.
go ahead.
That's some of the hard stuff. You got to get to know each athlete because they do all perform differently.
Right.
They have different strengths and weaknesses. They have different mentalities. They have history, different experience level.
How you're going to interact with them is probably the toughest thing. Each one of them,
Yeah. That is.
So Kayla's one of your wrestling moms?
That's my wife.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Sumner, yes.
Yes.
She gets kind of loud and rowdy from time to time.
She's my favorite though. She's passionate. And I got to give her that.
Oh, Katie, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I know Katie and Kayla. That I did not realize
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry. So it's all better now.
Sorry.
This is all better.
That's awesome.
So we're good now.
Yeah.
You guys are blessed to have Kip and a individual over there that I graduated with and knew my entire life, and Mr. Bell. He was our backup coach, 85. Don't let him fool you. That guy was one hell of an athlete.
Wow.
Seriously. He was an outstanding basketball player. He started on the basketball team. He was a backup quarterback. I think even stuff in track. Just his dad, of course, who your school's named after. When we were all growing up, myself, Craig Smith, Brad Shields, Chris Sheets, Jeff all hung out. And then Craig's dad passed. That's what Smith Elementary's name. Ron Bell was the principal of East Middle. Jeff's dad. And he's passed now. Now it's Bell. Whatever they call it. I still I don't know.
Bell
But-
Intermediate.
Yeah, but Jeff, you get him behind you, he will support you guys 100%. You see him out there, crazy.
Mhm.
So he's a good man, and you guys got a lot of support.
I would say right now I've seen nothing but support.
Yeah.
From everybody. It's been pretty awesome. It was, I came in. Unfortunately, I got a late start to this because I didn't actually take the job over until the 22nd of September. And the season
tough.
starts October 30th, right? So I had less than a month really to put together a practice plan, get the wrestlers out, get them going, and then start thinking about what I was going to do with the middle school and the elementary school program. And I know there's a lot of parents out there going, when are we getting this elementary school thing going? So I do want to talk about that for a second.
Sure.
So real quick, the 7th and the 8th of November, which is next week, next Tuesday and Wednesday, we're doing a beginners camp for $30. So myself, Coach Sumner, Coach Harris, and all my wrestlers, and Coach Putzik, which is not here. He wrestled at Center Grove. He's one of my assistants, also in the National Guard. We're all going to stick around and have all the new kids come in. We're going to work with them for about an hour and 15 minutes. Hopefully they sign up. That $30 will go to the $100 membership for the year, so they'll only have to pay $70 if they sign up. If not, it'll just be money that goes to the club. But hopefully we can pull a lot of kids in there, and then the 2 weeks later, which would be the 20th of Monday, we're going to start the elementary school program.
That's awesome.
So, and we hope to blow the numbers up. That way, the numbers will blow up obviously in the middle school, and then again turn to us in the high school. So,
how many kids you got in middle school right now involved?
so the numbers are low, so it's going to be a rebuilding
Get 'em in here and
process.
get them on air.
Yeah,
we can talk to them.
Yeah,
have fun with them.
we want to get we only have we have a few in the high school room now. The call out for the middle school is the 6th, which is next Monday. I'm going to do one in the morning, see what kind of numbers I'm going to get. I think it's just something like if they get to see me and they get to see all the kids around them and then understand how much fun we have. I mean, these guys can tell you we work hard, but we have fun. And I let these kids have fun. We enjoy ourselves.
Kyle.
God. Yeah, see,
you hungry yet?
dude. Oh, he's always hungry.
Kyle's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Kyle's a man. He's actually the president of our club. So, yeah.
Kyle, if you want to bring any kids here, let me know because
Oh.
we'll do it at night. And
Definitely.
even when we can't. If I'm home and not doing anything, get a hold of me. We'll pop them on air. At
Love
least
to do that.
introduce them and build up
Yeah.
momentum for you guys
Yeah.
to do this. Are you hungry?
I am actually.
You ate dinner?
Yeah, not big enough.
Well, if you say something like I ate a damn piece of lettuce, that's it. What'd you eat?
Little bowl of rice and some chicken. A little bit of chicken.
Yeah.
Did you know that's like an appetizer at most?
You didn't go to Mexican?
No, I didn't. My parents tried to pull me in to go to Mexican.
Yeah.
Told them no.
Discipline right there.
Brad's giving me some more love right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you good on weight though right now?
No, not really. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
I'm down a lot of weight, but I still got like 6 more pounds to go.
Oh, water weight? But you don't want to lose that much water weight.
No, I mean,
Sweat
for this
equity?
guy, it's probably going to be a couple days of dieting, and then my rule is anything over 24 hours of water that's absolutely insane.
yourself.
You're not supposed to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not a big advocate for this weight cutting thing. Weight dropping, okay, So if I feel like you can do it based on your body size. Now we have certifications coming up, which are weight certifications next Friday. That'll tell us the scientific part of it. But right now I can look at somebody and go, okay, well, I'm seeing where you're at. I'm seeing what you're telling me, and let's either go up or down. But I'm not having you starve all year long. I mean, we're not
Right.
starving
You
all
don't
year
wanna do
long.
that.
Once you get down, it's usually easy to maintain, but
That energy's
yeah,
zapped from you.
it's ridiculous. I mean, that was the way it went when I was in high school. I mean, I'm sure Vince could say the same thing. I don't remember eating many meals my freshman, sophomore, junior year. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get wise until my senior year and started figuring it out a little bit. But
Good,
yeah.
Kyle. Good here. So I need to lose 100, but I don't want to do that. I lose too much energy. So I'm not anywhere near that.
And you hit on something good because like new age thinking is all about energy level.
Yeah.
Evan's talking about eating for a purpose. Like he's putting calories in his
To
body.
hear a young man say that at that age, at your age, I mean, because McDonald's is
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's some good stuff, though. The coach said.
And you can tell it in his wrestling. Like
Uh-huh.
there's been matches where maybe we're in the third period over the summertime, maybe Florida or Virginia or Indy, wherever he's wrestling that weekend. right? He
Cardiac
wrestles
kid
all
right
over.
there. Yeah.
He might be down by a couple of points in the third, and like we're cutting people, giving them an escape, taking them down 3, 4, 5 times in the third period because his gas tanks were.
He's still got the energy.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to build out of our kids is, just that get the technique behind it, give them the gas tank to do it, and then give them the confidence themselves to be able to make those hard decisions. Literally cut a guy to his feet and then take him down again because you can. And
That's awesome.
That's the kind of stuff that.
So many of the professional athletes done this for years,
Yep.
and it's starting to trickle down to colleges and
Yep.
the way the world's going right now. That you got kids this age knowing, hey, I got to do it. Not just one kid in the room. Pretty soon, it's going to be all of them.
Right.
Yeah, it becomes a culture. It becomes
Yeah.
the whole team's doing it because the
That's
kids that are
phenomenal.
having success pass that down to the next generation. That's
how
what we're
you
trying to
learn.
get in front of the middle school team. And
They want to know
stuff
why
like
these
that.
kids are good. They want to know what's going on. What I mean, I've seen a growth in all these guys, right? They've all been doing the right thing for the last few years, and a few of them, we call them mat lickers. They were mat lickers when they first started wrestling. They couldn't get their head off the mat, right? To turn into like well above average wrestlers. To now we're heading to the point where we're going to be great wrestlers. And I think Martinsville had 4 semi-state qualifiers last year, 2 of them returning, and my expectation for this year is to have 6 to 8 semi-state qualifier, and at least, if not half, but more, qualify for state. The way we are looking right now, that's the way I'm looking at it. So, and we're talking coming out of the toughest sectional, regional, and semi-state in the state of Indiana,
Right.
one class. So
That's in February, and it states in February.
yeah,
That's always a special time. It seems like the wrestlers are the only thing being focused on that. I think basketball ends just the week before, maybe, or
Yeah.
right around there.
yeah.
And boom, state championship wrestling coming up. They normally a lot of
Well,
shout out to them.
they threw a curveball to us this year.
Uh-oh.
So basketball. This is probably why Evan's a little annoyed with basketball. So let's say Evan goes to state this year. Now, luckily, he's a junior, but he goes to state this year, and let's just say he was a senior. So the state championship's been held at either Market Square Arena or Cambridge Fieldhouse for years,
Forever.
right? So this year, the NBA decided we're going to have our All-Star game the same weekend as the Indiana State Championship. And guess who got booted? The
Yes.
Indiana State Wrestling Championship. So now we're going to be at Ford Center in Evansville, which is not a bad place.
Wait a minute. It's open.
I said the same thing.
Probably the convention center.
The
too, but-
convention
Convention Center is a
center
beautiful
and the
facility.
Pepsi Coliseum at the
Pepsi
State
Coliseum,
Fairground.
yeah.
But no, we're doing
You
it in
got all those
Evansville.
colleges up there.
Yeah. Yep.
Samantha says the boys work hard. You know, Samantha.
They do. They do.
So you
work
got to
hard.
go to Evansville though.
Uh-huh. Which for us that's not a big deal, right? But we're talking like Fort Wayne,
Wayne
South
kids,
Bend, like
yeah,
who
East
the hell
Chicago,
wants to
they're in
drive
trouble.
yeah,
Crown
4.5
Point.
hours down there, you know, it's like and they had it in Fort Wayne originally. They said, "Oh no, we're doing it in Fort Wayne," and then
Which
they
has been tough.
yeah, the venue changed. So it actually worked in our favor, but man, just not having that spotlight, being down I mean, I was downtown state champion. That was the best the best time of my life, you know, like being under the lights, seeing all those people, standing room only at Martin Square,
But
you
got
know, like
juniors and underclassmen, so they
yeah.
do,
So
they
the
can reach
beautiful
next
part
year
about
and
it
go
is,
back.
yes, that we don't have a senior, so these kids can all get that experience.
But I'd be mad if I'm a senior and I'm
Hell yeah, that's what I'm
gonna-
saying.
I'm gonna go state.
Yeah.
First. Where you at? Purple Aces? What?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Where?
just what I'm saying.
We're going to Evansville.
Bunch of shit.
You're right.
Yeah, the whole experience. Like I've got pictures of some of these kids when they were in middle school with Micah Dotson,
Right.
up there,
Right.
at Cambridge, like wrestling in the state final. Like it's a memory. It's what builds this culture. Is, you know, guys like that have done it before them, and then you go and watch them, and you're like, hey, I want to do that, and then you do the work that it takes. You should have the opportunity to go up there and compete in the same space. So
I gotta ask you guys: are you guys contact sports, boxing, the WWF stuff, or you?
More of a U.
I like
Same.
that. So pretty much all your buddies, all your wrestling guys, UFC guys.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite UFC wrestler or
Right
fighter?
now, on Strickland.
There you go.
Of course you would like him.
Yeah.
See, I'm older school. Of course, I like the Diaz boys. I like them, and I always liked oh my gosh, McGregor. I just
Yeah,
I was a Connor
Pound
fan.
for pound.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. See,
And Notorious is pretty cool. Have you
Notorious,
seen that?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good documentary.
but the Diaz boys, what is Stockton or Stockdale, whatever the
Stockton,
yeah, that's
Stockton
all he-
kids, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stockton. They're wanting
Yeah,
to fight everybody. But that's some good stuff. Do you have ambitions to go to college to do wrestling, or are you going to go the UFC route?
I'd like to.
If it presents itself, yeah, I'd be open to go to college.
Yeah.
But I'm doing pretty well academically. Gotta
I was going to say you got to
Find
balance the
balance,
books and
gotta
the
find
and the
balance.
wrestling.
Well, my wife's sitting over there. I had an MMA career. They don't want to do it.
No fun.
She can tell you. But yeah, it was.
To me, okay, military.
Yeah.
You go in the military, and I'll just take a platoon. You got 30 guys. 27, 28 of them. Well, let me go. 25 of them were the best at something, whatever they did in school. But they didn't have the grades. Back in the 80s now, the grades are the. These guys were phenomenal at everything. And then, you imagine going to the UFC, something like that, where these guys are all fighters at some point level. Couldn't go to college because of money, couldn't do this because of that. But all these guys were fantastic wrestlers or football players or athletes altogether. And now they're fighters. And they've trained every day for 20 years, 30 years. And their training is in And you're getting hit in the face
Yes.
constantly.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Especially when a lot of these guys have greater than 4.0 grade point averages,
Yeah.
and they could be using their brain. And
They
they
should
could-
dumb me real
That's
fast.
what have changed.
Yeah.
And this is something that, in relation back to military, everybody always thought forces was ignorant people running around out there
Not the case.
have degrees from Harvard.
Yeah.
They're extremely intelligent, and they're also the most professional trained killers.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, that's a scary mix anymore. But that's what you're getting in the UFC now,
Yeah.
and things like that. That these just aren't big oafs out there
Yeah.
wrestling around. These guys are technical. They've eaten right for
Mhm.
years. They've trained right. This is what they're working on for their life.
Yeah, I fought. We call it the the Wild Wild West of MMA. That's when I fought. So I fought mid 2000s, and UFC was barely a thing. It was it was doing okay, but it was
You're back at
barely.
the end of the Horse Gracie days.
Yeah, it was barely a thing. I really didn't have a lot of gyms. There wasn't really any gyms in Indiana to train at. We were
Not
all
everywhere.
one. I trained with Lytle and Shamar Bailey and all those guys at some point in my career.
Chuck's a big boy, isn't he?
Yeah. But like at the end of the day, it was like, man, I'm pretty smart. I feel like, for the most part, I had a family. I was a little older on the older end. But yeah, I think, if I had started it right out of college wrestling, like some of these kids are doing now, or right out of, dude, that's when you do it, right?
Yeah.
You do it when you got nothing else going on. Maybe I don't have a kid. I just got my degree, but I got a little bit of money in the bank, but not a lot. I'm still used to eating ramen noodles, and I'm not, and that's when you go and you run with this dream, right? And some of it pays off, some of it doesn't, right? But I think I just hit it at the wrong time. So if these kids can go to college, get the degree, wrestle, get all that good stuff, and then if something, like they said, arises, then I think,
But they got to
You
learn
can
the
push
other
them that way.
disciplines too. And at
yeah,
that age,
and it's not easy.
It's just you just can't take wrestling in there. You can't just
Ooh,
take
no.
boxing in there. You
No.
can't just take jiu-jitsu in there,
Yeah.
or Muay Thai or whatever you're bringing to the mat.
I'm a 16-year black belt
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, right? So like it took 16 years for me to get through that program, right?
Yeah.
So would I have felt comfortable fighting MMA as a blue belt? Well, I did it, but was it smart? I don't know. Not really, because I didn't have the whole discipline down, right? So
Right.
yeah, I think you got to go through all that. And then you're talking about wrestlers that completely lead with their head. That's what we do. So
Right.
boxing is completely opposite of everything that you were ever taught in wrestling, right? You move the other way. You got to stand up high in your stance, right, and not put your face out there so somebody can knock your block
Was
off.
it Khabib, whatever his name is?
Khabib, yeah.
And dude's
I met him. He's tough. He's a monster.
He can hurt you with your own body,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't even look like he's doing anything.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest wrestler I've ever seen. He gets you on the mat, you're done.
He's actually a sambo practitioner. Never really wrestled, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not really so Dagestan. I'm not been to Dagestan, but
You guys, have you heard this talk this way all the time? Okay, good.
I do.
That's the best part of practice. We get a story from
Yeah,
Coach
they get a
Johnson at the
story.
end of every
They're always
practice.
waiting for
Cool
down.
coaches'
Yeah.
stories, but
Give me that water. He's talking.
over there, it's they're a different breed, man. They don't.
Doing that since age like 2 or something. Wasn't it crazy?
Yeah. So I was on Team USA for grappling, which is jiu-jitsu. Basically, it's the same thing. USA Wrestling puts us in play with UWW, which is the United World Wrestling. And we had a qualifier here in the United States, just like Olympic trial, world trial, qualified and went with a lot of friends of mine. And I had been competing on that team for about 4 or 5 years. Well, one year I went, my buddy Luis was competing against Khabib's buddy, and Khabib was in the corner. So he's actually like cornering this guy. And obviously his last name ends with a Z or a V. I don't know. Right. So and Luis is getting after this guy, and they're both entangled in like a footlock situation. So both of them are basically trying to break each other's foot.
Right.
And Luis is looking back at the coach, and he's like, "Coach, I'm breaking his foot." And he's like, "Break it." And so he says, Luis literally broke the dude's foot, and the dude laughed at him and broke his foot, and then Luis couldn't get up, and Luis loses.
Wow.
And so that's the mentality of these guys that you're dealing with, right? But a lot of people don't understand that's how they work. They're told to do that from day one.
Yeah, there's a difference between wanting to do it out of ambition and have to do it out of you want your family to survive.
Yeah.
Well, they make a stipend for the rest of their life. They bring home a medal, right? Especially a gold medal. So but I mean, the knowing or just being around that, like that's part of the stuff that I want to bring to these guys because they haven't seen that kind of thing. So at least I can like say, hey man, like this is how it really is. This is how these guys really are. This is this is if you want to get to this level, we can get there, but this is what it's going to take.
This is life right here.
Yeah.
And does that change your perspective?
I love it. See,
That's what I'm talking about. You just put in a Goggins tape.
Yeah.
It works out.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
You do?
Stay hard.
Yeah, I love it. That's right. We don't need to say what else he says, but yeah. I love Goggins.
Yeah.
That is an incredible story. If you're just, so. We gotta have you guys back. We gotta have. We get other kids in here.
I've got tons of other kids to bring in here.
You get a hold of me. You know how to get a hold of me now.
Yeah.
Through Chelsea or Kyle or whatever.
Yeah.
Just get a hold of you guys on that, especially the younger kids who can help promote.
Yeah.
I've tried to do that in all the sports that we get in here. Doesn't always work out, but
yeah, I can try to. I mean, Christian Mercer, 8th grader.
Yeah.
He's working his butt off in the room. He's out
yes, I'm sorry. We'll get to that, Chelsea.
here. Yep. Benson Parker, Hudson Sparks, Elisha Pettit. I mean, these are some names.
I know Hudson Sparks somehow.
Yeah. These are some names you're going to be hearing for the next few years in this program. Middle schoolers right now, they're coming in getting extra work in the preseason. You're going to see great things out of these kids if they stick with it, like some seven. And they're showing all the signs.
After you guys win your regional and semi-state and state this year, come back in here with the hardware.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw, you come back in. We always would have Ben in after.
Yeah.
And it was a tough conversation, but he always come back in. Now, you got a pancake breakfast coming up. Are these guys allowed to eat?
Yeah, well, I mean,
lick the spoon?
They might be licking the spoon by that point, but
yes, food and,
so
cleaning tables.
This pancake breakfast is
what is this for?
It's phenomenal. We're dealing with some really great people at the American Legion, so they've been nice enough to allow us to use their facility to put on a fundraiser for the Martinsville Wrestling Club. So on the 12th of November, which is a Sunday, the Colts game is being played at 9:30. That's my military talking in the morning. And they're over in Germany. And the American Legion is the only place in town that's going to be hosting that event. And on top of having a full bar, and we are serving pancakes and eggs and I believe sausage.
Yeah. What day is it? November 12th?
November 12th, yes. And it's donation only. So basically, you can come eat for free. But the money that you would provide to us would be going right to the wrestlers. The wrestlers, the high school wrestlers, are going to work. Evan wanted to wear a singlet to serve, but I think we're going to go away from food code. Yeah, it would just work on that. But yeah, they're going to walk around serving the food. Vince and I are going to kiss babies and shake hands, type thing, and we're just gonna have a great time. So it's open to all the community, not just the wrestling family, but everybody. So.
Starts at 9:30, and that's a Sunday?
That is a Sunday. Yep. Yeah, it's right after our red and blue day. So we have a red and blue inter squad meet the day before.
Okay.
So yeah.
And it's here in town.
It's at J.R. Wooden Middle School. So it kind of worked out. The high school was utilizing the gym that day, and so like I said, I went over today to talk to J.R. Wooden, and they are providing their space for us to wrestle that day for the red and blue, and I think it's great because then we get the middle schoolers out there to watch and the parents maybe, and they would be interested in what's going on here. Oh, the wrestling high schoolers are coming to the middle school to wrestle. Well, I think that's a great advertisement for us to start out with. So
yeah, you guys are the biggest promoters of your sport, and if you want it to continue, it's up to you guys. You guys can bring them to the place, but younger kids of this look at you. You may not like that, believe it, but you're now a role model because you're an athlete, student athlete. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna wear your stuff out all the time. That's what we always try to do in football. Wear a jersey or wear a sweatshirt we had or our jackets. Promote your sport. Get the younger kids. So 20 years from now, you can be sitting over talking about, hey, I'm a head coach at Paoli or Martinsville or wherever you're at, and you're trying to implement into doing that. Coach Moore, Center Grove, will tell you. Their junior league football, second to none. And I forget, I don't think they call it junior league football, but it's something. It's the same principles. And ours is coach is trying to work ours back into that, but he's had that established for so long that these kids are playing the same plays and running the same thing for 12 years before they get to high school. And that's what you guys have to do, wrestling wise. Get these maybe not the ages early as some of the football playing kids, but early on, get wrestling, boom, 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 and grow your program. Coach Chuck Smith used to make all the wrestlers. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, and that's
Talked
actually
about that.
getting brought back. So
Yep, he used to make him do that.
so I have a requirement. So we're not gonna do it at every single one, but for some of the meets, we're gonna be dressing up, shirt and tie. Coach is gonna be rocking out. We're gonna be rocking out, wearing our shirts and suits
That's
and ties.
phenomenal.
We want to bring. Hey, we're coming here for business
Something
today.
different, yeah.
Yes, and we look professional. You know, yeah, there's gonna be some Saturday meets. Hey, let's throw the pajama pants on and roll, right? But when we're doing some work at home, especially, you know, we want people to go, why are you wearing a tie today? I don't even see you wear a tie. I'm wrestling tonight. You know, like, oh, okay, well, where at? Right here.
Right.
Come see us at 6
Come see
o'clock.
us, yeah.
Yeah.
Pancake breakfast Sunday, November 12th, 9:30. If I do not have to work, I'm
get
gonna
some
try to come there
pancakes.
live.
Please.
Go live with it,
Yeah.
and then
Awesome.
grab my iPad and show up live with
Heck
it.
yeah.
Depending on workload.
Mhm.
And busy.
Yeah.
Here especially. But this is my fun job. I have a
Hell
real
yeah.
job too.
I get
so.
you. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, to be an adult, stay young, kids. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, it's
yeah,
not always cracked up. Here we go. When I worked at the high school's cafeteria, come in with. There you go. Stuff like that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Promote your program.
Well, I think these guys will, you know, they'll benefit from teaching because they'll realize I know when I started coaching, I became a better wrestler.
Yeah.
Not just a better coach, but a better wrestler because I was able to break things down and go, oh, I don't even do that. I should be doing what I'm saying right now.
Right.
So I think having them coach this year, even with working with the little kids, it may frustrate them a little bit at first, but I think down the road they'll be like, man, I'm glad I did that this year, you know, helping out. And then same thing, like just promoting it. And, you know, we want to have fun. Like really, positivity is all about this program. And when we joke around, but when it's time to go to work, we go to work. You know, as soon as we're off the mat, we joke around again. That's what it's all about, right? So
there you go. I'll tell you this another thing, and I've said the other soccer team I did for a while. Then my brother's situation came up. But you guys get a whole scores.
Mhm.
You may not like it, win, lose, or draw. And we'll post them in there. Hey, Evan got pinned and stuck the kid. He stuck the kid in the second period. You know, he's 3-0 on the year. Or Calvin did. Send me that information. We can post it on the site, or I can write it, or I can write it down and talk about it next time I go live.
Okay.
Mention it.
Yeah.
It helps promote.
Yeah.
That's all it's about.
We have a YouTube channel.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Artie
we do.
Wrestling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can give you the information if you want to.
Is it on the Rewind Kids or no?
No, I've shared it with the Rewind team.
Okay.
But this is something that we've
You guys do on your own.
kind of done.
That's phenomenal. That's an awesome.
yeah, Vince started
promoter.
this a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We may or may not have videos back to about fifth, so it kind of gets a little cumbersome. But if anybody's interested in seeing what it's all about, seeing what a wrestling match looks
That
like,
stuff's so important. Promote. It is. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, and I will call the football players out a little bit because I will say, like, I know too many wrestlers and football players that are working out in the NFL right now that did both.
Yeah.
Especially offense and defensive linemen and linebackers. Anybody on the defense, really. But that doesn't say, like, wide receivers. That hand fighting aspect.
Getting off the line.
I wish his son was here too. I should have brought him today, but he played football. Him and Dominic Mercer on our team. They played football this year, and their hand fighting was way better than everybody else on the field by far. Like they could snap people, get through the line, hand fight the receivers, and get them off of them. Whatever.
It's all about becoming a better athlete
yes.
and then applying it to whatever field you're
Absolutely,
in. 100%.
absolutely.
Get
So I
that.
think we don't really have a lot of football players out right now, and that's a thing that I want to work on with the football coach, and this is kind of discuss that. I think you'll find that I'm not that weight cut guy where I'm trying to cut your kids down a lot of weight classes. I just want them to come out. I mean, Joel, his other son, and Christian Coons, great football players, and they came out for wrestling this year, and they're not going to suffer at all. They're just going to get stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this in everything that we do in here, kids wise. I don't care what you do. Play the violin, sing the choir, wrestle, play football. Anything you do, focused, scheduled, and in a group of structure, will prevent you, or your odds are better of falling through the cracks and ending up somewhere you don't want to be 20 years from now, 15 years from now. And unfortunately, a lot of kids fall through the cracks. And our community, like thousands across the country, are dealing with drug problems and issues like that. And things like this teaches you that structure that you have to have in life to succeed. And it's great. You guys should be committed. And you guys also, because the schoolwork nowadays is ridiculous, in my opinion. I'll keep that to myself.
Imagine, yeah.
But then you guys, and you guys, you're athletes too, and it's 24/7. Just so.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are taking classes where they'll almost have an associate's degree by the time they graduate high school.
Oh, I believe it.
And so a lot of the work they're doing is collegiate level coursework
I
already.
believe it.
And they're athletes, and they're lifting weights, and they're managing diet, and they're having
and
friendships.
17, 16-year-old kids that know about this much, and they think
they call me out on my spelling errors on our little whiteboard all the time. It's like, Coach, you spelled commitment wrong. Well, give me the commitment, and I'll spell it right.
Spell it the way I want to spell it.
Get out of here.
And Aaron helps it, portion by having studied. Yes, we did hit on that, and that is phenomenal. That you guys do that. That is, like you said, students worth, athletes second.
Got to have that, I mean, first of all, I don't believe in, I believe in no kid left behind, especially in our wrestling program. But just in general, but I think sometimes, and this goes for like just the academic and the wrestling aspect of it. Sometimes you focus on the kids that know what they're doing, and you forget about the kids that don't know what they're doing, and you don't spend enough time with those kids.
Right.
It's the same thing. The kids that got their academics squared away, you're like, I don't have to worry about them, but you forget about the kids that don't have their academics squared away. So we're trying to like, hey man, like we do care. And, for instance, I had one kid sit all practice long today to get his homework done. He was not allowed to wrestle. He sat there in the room and did his homework.
That's all.
So that's just the bottom line, right?
It's needed. It has to be done.
Has to happen.
I was going to say, it takes me back. Coach Soderwitz, back in the day, in the summertime, when we'll be able to do summer weight program.
like pole orchards and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That's when you could really knock the snot out of people. But can't do that much now. But we couldn't do 7-on-7s and stuff like that. Your practice couldn't begin until like August 5th or 6th. So summer weight program. And some of the names I'll throw at you: Don Lips, Randy Taylor from Barrett. We would show up at the gym 3 or 4 days. Everybody's out, and we would play everything from kickball to mat wrestling, football, and not out of each other all summer long and stay in some sort of shape. But then, as we got close to football, there's a drill sergeant come in, Drill Sergeant Robinson. He would take us in that wrestling room. I mean, that door back in the old day, that door was shut in that wrestling room. It was hot.
Yeah.
The heat was incredible.
I remember that room.
Yeah.
I didn't
make
wrestle
it
here,
rain.
but I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
You can make it rain.
Yeah. And he would come in there, and football team, like 40 of us, wear us out.
Yeah.
And when that door shut, he was Drill Sergeant Robinson. He wasn't, hey, Mr. Robinson, come in. So everything that happened in that room stays in that room. And I mean, he'd run us around the track and formation, and then we'd go back in that wrestling room. This guy's going to kill us. I was full enough to join. I was like, well, I'm joining the Army when I get out. I'm not going to the Marines. So,
well,
yeah.
These guys, I mean, especially Evan, no offense, Calvin, but especially Evan spent all summer wrestling.
That's awesome.
Like,
yeah, you said you wrestled in Florida? She posts pictures of her kids like at meets all over the place, and that's phenomenal.
Evan, where have you been this year?
A lot of places. Wrestle everywhere.
That's all right though.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's been.
That's great.
Yeah, did you go to Virginia Beach this year?
No, I had a wedding.
You went to Disney though. No, you went to Colorado to wrestle. For a
I went
while.
to Colorado for a wrestling camp. Yep, it was fun.
Yeah.
Hello, Nicole. Yes, stay at it, man.
Wrestled up in Michigan, didn't you? Maybe a time or two.
Yep.
Yeah, these kids Calvin's going to be a part of this year, right? So we're going to go. Plan is to get these kids out to Virginia Beach. There's a huge duels tournament after season, It's over Memorial Day weekend, and it's a great time. It's
Is
good.
that Virginia Beach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
and
might
it's,
need a media person to go.
yeah, it might. Yeah.
Let's
Hey,
check.
follow us through, bro. I'll get these kids out there. It's bonding, man. Like these kids get
Yeah.
together. They have
Yeah.
some fun outside
That's
of the
good stuff.
wrestling room, and so that's what we're trying to do here. Make this a family, a big Martinsville wrestling family, right?
Yeah.
So, and they also have middle school and elementary school divisions. So eventually, we'd like to plug the middle school and elementary school out there, and maybe we've got a high school, middle school, and an elementary school team, and all the kids are out there hanging out at the same time, and we can
Gotta
all
keep
watch
them
each
moving.
other wrestle and go to the beach, and parents can have some fun, right? So
And even aside from promoting, like some of the kids at a young age get to see some of these very high level athletes that
Right.
that are college scholarship
Uh-huh.
athletes, how they prepare for a match, how they deal with winning a match, how they deal with losing a match should it happen. Like there's a lot to be learned just from watching the next older class and how they deal with that stuff. So like I've been around Evan for quite a while and Calvin, and like I see growth in these kids when they go to a tournament like that. They always come back better. Whether they go 7-0 or whether they go 1-3, they learn something. And
That's what it's all about.
yeah, you're getting that life experience.
well,
So-
they both made transformations. Both these guys here, right? So
Yeah.
like when I left Calvin, you were a little pudgy, right? A little pudge around the
Seventh
middle. I
grader.
come back a couple years later, and this kid's like,
He's eating
What do you-
apples
what do you
all day.
bench
That's
it? What
it
are you
now,
benching
though.
now? like,
yeah, your normal weight's what?
I mean, that's-
140, 139.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
That's
impressive,
phenomenal.
right? And he decided this is what I want to do. This is the work I'm going to put in. Evan's done the same thing. He's transformed himself. I mean, again, another one. I mean, when I first met Evan, he couldn't. Like he thought being on bottom was to stay on bottom. He didn't know he could get up. Right? He thought he had to stay on the mat.
Yeah,
Right,
only Roy
so-
Tracy was the only
yeah,
one that ever done that.
Now you can't
Yeah.
hold this kid down,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it's just I see just the two that are sitting here, and we've got a lot of those, right? But just a transformation they're making, in the weight room, doing the things outside the season, doing the right thing in the classroom, and we got a great team. I'm really excited.
Who's the biggest jokester on the team? Call him out. Let's call him out.
Ezra Frederick or Dominic Mercer.
Okay.
Either
Yeah.
or.
I'd say that's pretty easy, but you're not too far behind there, Evan.
No.
Christopher Johnson says, "Look at all this boy talk." So you're calling it Ezra?
Ezra and Dom, I would say.
Yeah, Ezra's a character. I'm gonna tell you that, and so is Dom. They're space cadets too, though.
Do you guys
so.
know these guys? Any of these two?
Yeah, I know a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Giving you his hard time now. So. Good stuff. So, but the big thing coming up, November 12th, 9:30 a.m.
Oh, we're pred. That's crazy.
November 12th, 9:30 a.m. over at the American Legion here in town. It is a pancake breakfast, and the proceeds are going to go back to the program.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to. Oh boy.
I don't know about these guys.
Yeah, we gotta be
Yeah.
careful. We gotta be careful with that, guys. You'll get us shut down.
Chris Hansen. Really?
Yeah, we gotta.
Touche.
We gotta
Yeah.
I want to get rid of that.
Maybe
Sorry,
that's not the
guys.
people I thought they were.
Do you know them or no?
No, I don't think so. Now that I'm looking at their names, they're just being douches. Oh, Chris Johnson.
All right. If it was, no big deal.
No, it's not.
But
It's not anybody I know.
okay. That's how we take care of that right there.
Yeah, well, that's how I get called out. It's cool though. I like
thought
it.
you knew him.
No, I don't, but it's all right. I mean, come on down, we'll wrestle. It's cool.
That happens. Unfortunately, we were in the middle of we did a fundraiser for Peyton, $30,000.
Yeah,
And that's worldwide, across the globe.
yeah.
And like somebody got on there with an obscene thing. Got to remove. Facebook will kill it, but
Yeah.
sometimes we get people from New Zealand watch, and they're fine. Australia, China, Russia, Israel, Ireland, get them from all over.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
That is cool. Like maybe we'll be seeing all over the place.
Hey,
I don't know.
that's what I tried to tell this a while back. I was like, you guys understand we're promoting a product.
Right.
South Sectional Championship. 600 people. Live stream.
Yeah.
Stayed at 600. That 200 could have left. Stayed around 600.
Yeah.
7 different countries, 23 states. That game. That's phenomenal. And you're talking about Ephesians, Texas,
Yeah.
Florida. There was one in Israel that, and just they were everywhere. So it's cool to see that. Connect with high school people.
Yeah, I love this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We appreciate you. letting
Anyway,
us
hey,
be
glad
part
to
of
have
that.
you.
Yeah.
Glad to have you, boys. Come back anytime. I'm telling you. I'm
Yeah.
being dead serious. After your matches, you guys wrestle like 2-3 a week.
So
That's what makes it tough.
yeah, our schedule here. We got a pretty busy November, December. We kind of flatline a little bit in January because we're prepping for sectionals at the end of January. So, but yeah, we're like what every Monday, or every Tuesday, Thursday for a little while in December.
Maybe give me the tally for the week, and then on Saturday if I'm on air, or Sunday if I'm on air, if you guys aren't coming in or something. If you want to come in, we can talk about it. But if I have a show, I normally do my show on Sunday evening, 7 or 8 o'clock. But I've been off for a while, so I'm trying to catch people back up.
Yeah.
If not, I can post it certainly on the site or talk about it on air. Say, hey, real quick, just like my sponsor, before we get to that, here's what the boys did in wrestling this week. And I don't want to say, yeah, they got beat 3 times each. So
Yeah,
if it happens, it happens. We're going to tell the truth.
we got to put our scores in after each meet anyway, so we'll just send it over to you on top of all that. So
I'll give you my number when we get out of
Okay.
here. And we'll switch. Boys, you got anything you want to add before you get out? What time you got to be up in the morning?
8:30 practice.
8 o'clock.
we have a 9 o'clock
Oh,
practice.
tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, we have a
See,
9
I'm going
o'clock.
to work first thing in the morning. That's why I was like, tomorrow's work day, boys. Where you at?
No,
8
we
o'clock?
got a 9 o'clock morning practice, but
Okay.
they know how I feel about lateness. There's commitment going on in this
already
program,
missed
even
it.
though I
It's
can't spell it.
accounted for. Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of commitment going on in this program, so they gotta be there by 9, ready to go with the shoes on,
That's
ready to
all right.
wrestle.
They'll
So,
be there.
yeah, they will. I know they will. You know.
Oh, they want Evan to sing a song to close the
Oh
broadcast.
yeah.
There we go.
Come on, bro.
What's your favorite?
I'm not a big
It's
singer.
almost Christmas time.
Hey, we have our
Yeah.
Christmas event coming up, by the way.
Yeah.
We just sitting here having a meeting about that. Cheap promotion right now.
Oh, yeah.
This is December 3rd at the new venue downtown, the Jig Bell Rock Christmas Music Spectacular and Tree Lighting. Live music, vendors, carriage rides, trackless trains, ice skating rink, cookie eating contest, which I'm emceeing. Pictures of Santa Claus, Whoville characters, and Buddy the Elf. Sponsored by City of Martinsville, Port Simon, and Rediscover. And Evan will be there to sing Christmas carols, is what I'm hearing. So,
Well, we're trying to get some karaoke going on at the Legion too, so maybe we can throw them out there.
that'd be
Because
Because
phenomenal.
they got a karaoke area, so I figured maybe we could do a live
I
stage.
have a list right here. The other night we had a meeting. It breaks down all the groups in here, and I did not see the Martinsville Wrestling Club. in there
We're gonna work
to
on
sing,
that.
So
We're gonna work
I mean,
on
we
that.
got Smith School of Fine Arts are singing, and
Yeah.
the Woodridge Music Academy, and the Martinsville Choir, Martinsville Community Band. I don't see Evan on here. So
Yeah.
we need to work that in here. But
We might have to pull
J2's
River
there,
in for that.
Yeah, touche.
Rose
We're
O'Neill.
going back on the
Good.
team.
Yeah, get River out here.
Can you sing though? Seriously?
No, I cannot.
Some would
Kyle,
say
is he
he's
lying
the
to
voice
us?
of an angel.
Yeah.
Is it country music?
It's no music.
I try to walk people.
Ah,
into it.
man, come on, Dale and Brennan over there.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to close with? Say anything?
Out and support us.
Real quick before you go, sounds like 1,000 Angels. There you go.
DC, Backstreet Boys.
I want to
Hell
ask
yeah.
you this because new kids on the block. I want to ask you guys this: when you're out there on the mat, can you hear the crowd? In football, you couldn't. When I played, we played. Sometimes 10,000 people would show up because we got beat by the state in the Final Four. We got beat by Central, and we played I'm not kidding. That place would hold 10,000. They were there, but you couldn't hear the crowd. But can you on the mat?
Not really.
Ever? You hear him?
They can barely hear me sometimes. I'm like,
Really?
what are they
Kind
doing?
of depends on the head. Let you
Yeah.
hear better.
But I mean, is it because you're mentally focused, locked in, and that
You have to
Yeah.
train yourself.
I get that.
Yeah.
I can
That's why I
understand
yell
that.
at him a lot during the
Yeah.
wrestling season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he yells at you.
That's
You know
it.
that.
That's
He's
the only
just
reason.
Yeah.
trained.
It's out of love.
Yeah.
It's out of love.
Dad says you have a beautiful
Yeah,
voice.
Chris
By
has
the
got a
way.
beautiful voice, though.
Yeah.
I've heard Evans.
That's good.
Uh,
That's good stuff. Well, boys, good luck to you. Thank you for coming in. Like I said, hats off to you guys. To anybody, he knows Material Girl.
I bet you do,
Madonna.
don't you?
There you go.
I did.
Yeah.
I was waiting for some
Karaoke
Taylor
one night.
Swift to kick in.
I knew it.
Truth comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hats off to you guys, because like I said, all the kids that come in here, you're doing something extra, and you're doing it right, and you're keeping your grades. That's the most important. Have at it, keep going, and we'll have you guys back in whenever you're available. So, not to interfere with what you're doing though. Don't come in here on night when you got to work out or eat or something. Don't after the season's over, we'll go to Chinese buffet over there and we'll kill it.
Oh, yeah.
So-
That's the best time of the year, is
There
right
you
when
go.
the season's over with.
When the season ends, like beginning of March, so doesn't it? I'm not waiting
it's
that long to
it's
go
the
to Chinese
last
buffet.
it's the
So-
last weekend of February, so yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a
Uh-oh.
minute.
Soccer.
Coach Mina.
That soccer. She's actually my RDR teacher.
He's been in here several
yeah.
times, trust me. He comes in
You're
every
getting
now and then with
called
his
out,
buddies and
bro.
we do a sports pick. So I've tried to, I need to get him back in here, but see, we got a bet, and we might have to work something out with you guys, but I know we're running late here, guys. Hang with me. But Willie says, and he's probably getting his car and driving here, that we couldn't kick a soccer goal from like 20 yards out. Him or his goal. He's got talented kids at soccer. They had a hell of a year this
Yeah,
year.
they had a good year there. Yeah.
There you go.
I
Challenge
was
him.
about to say
That's
that.
what I was gonna
So-
say.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
he doing on the
He's-
11th? Because I think Calvin's weight class is
I'm thinking that
uncontested
you
right
need
now.
to-
Testing.
You need to try to kick a soccer goal on him in that, and then he's got to try to
Kick
pin
a
you.
soccer.
Kick it, whatever, Spina. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Kick a goal, score a point in soccer.
Or contact soccer. Let's just put it
That
that
seems
way.
better, yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm
Shoot the
just
singles,
saying.
he's shooting,
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. You wait till you get in here next time. Yeah.
I'll be seeing you Mondays.
There you go. There you
Calling
go.
the shot.
But he makes this bet with us that we can't score a goal on him while he's in net. And then yet he's out here saying he's going to pin with these kids. I can't see that.
Yeah.
I think he needs to put his money where his mouth is
Yeah.
and do it. And then
We'll go with our latest guy first.
Spina every day in RDR. He's out McDonald's just about every day. So, and when he has to get up and let someone in the door, he's huffing and down in his
RDR is going to be lit. That's good stuff. Oh, we need to get him in here and the soccer team. Would love to have a program where all the kids involved in the school programs and teams are involved in one way or another, but that's hard to do. But hats off to all you coaches, even Coach Willie, because it's hard work.
Yeah.
And it's lack of other words, it's a pain in the ass at times. But you got to have your heart into it, or you wouldn't be sitting here,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't be sitting there, and he wouldn't be taking the torment he is here.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you guys, hats off to you guys, because a lot of folks don't want it.
We enjoy our time, man. And the only reason I do this for these guys. That's it. I don't do it for anything else.
Right
You
on.
know, my family's been following me around for a while, so
You're not going to get rich being a high school soccer or high school
No,
wrestling coach.
no,
you know that.
no,
Or
no.
a soccer coach either.
Yeah, he's soccer or wrestling. We could probably put our salaries together and buy a McDonald's hamburger for him.
Guys, appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
We'll get your numbers here and we'll switch up, and I'll get a hope you get you guys back in. Like I said, just scores, we'll post it. I was posting his scores, but then he stopped communicating with me for some reason. So
cholesterol.
Oh, you're gonna let him have it. Boys, thank you so much, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Appreciate all the feedback, even you, Willie. Love you guys. What is today? Friday. Sunday. I'm on air with. Tomorrow night we got the concert. Sandy Patty out at Hoosier Harvest. And then Sunday, I have Morgan County EMA coming in to discuss winter weather awareness. Fun, doesn't it? Love you guys. We will see you.